Welcome back to the Real AF TV podcast show about fishing and random takes from the land of 10,000 lakes. In this case, the random take happens to be about fishing too. Not the first time we've done it, but if you're coming to the Real AF TV YouTube channel on our off weeks, when we split the topics for Monday and Friday, and you're coming here for the other stuff, for the random take, when we just kind of go off, you're just going to get more fishing.
Yep.
We have some technology stuff, which is the intersection of me and Tim and the fishing and the tech, but Tim's into the tech too. And this is kind of what Real AF TV is bringing to this. Like, we kind of geeky, and we like fishing. So we're going to cross that
outdoorsy
border.
nerds.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. That's a great way of putting it. Share a lunker is on the table too, because I was like, I got this reel from Tim. It's like, I was going to say, I got this fishing reel from Tim. And I was like,
no, what's it called? Not share a lunker.
No,
it's like, I think you're saying it. I think it's backwards.
Oh, okay. You get it quick.
Yeah.
But I got a reel on Instagram.
Yes, sir.
From Tim about, what is it called again?
Oh, just share lunker.
Share lunker.
You were right. Share lunker. So I thought it was lunker.
I misheard it.
No, it's okay.
But,
perfect.
So the share lunker thing, we're gonna get into that too.
Yeah.
And then Tim's got some deals and stuff, but like, I want to pause. I don't really want to introduce. Yeah. I want this to be free flowing shit.
Yeah.
We got to talk about Apple Vision Pro for multiple reasons. Last episode, we went in on VR Sports on MetaQuest. You got a VR.
Hell yeah.
That is the reasonable VR headset for general use, in my opinion. And
because it's got the cameras so you can see out in the front too, so it does a lot of what the Apple Pro can do.
If not exactly the same thing, but I'll just, this is my this will be my comparison. There's a Android phone and an Apple phone, and almost always you can get a more fully featured Android phone than an Apple phone. That's the tradition. That's the way things have been. First, it started out where the Android phones were ripping off Apple phones just to try to get into the market. And then the Android phones started to take over because they were just bringing new technology to the market, and they were hundreds of dollars less than an Apple phone. And now you have this situation where Apple's dropped its hat in the ring for virtual reality, mixed reality, whatever you want to call AR, all these things. They've dropped their goggles in on the world. And MetaQuest is on 3, Tim?
Yes, it's the MetaQuest 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they've been really the ones
sort of cameras. Like, it may have had a little camera in the front, but it wasn't as good. This one has like 3 different cameras in the front.
Yeah.
And I don't know exactly why. I haven't looked into what is happening.
Right. But this is the MetaQuest having true pass-through AR experience.
Correct.
Now.
Yeah, once you get it set up, I can walk around the house like it's not even on. It bends the picture a little bit.
Little fisheye effect.
From what I've seen with the Apple, it looks pretty crisp. Like, you can't tell the difference.
Right.
But
But that's also a video feed that you're being fed. It's not on your eyes. And I'm not saying okay, Apple has great technology. I'm not shitting on Apple at all.
Me neither.
Because it's amazing, but they charge so much it feels unnecessary.
The price point is insane.
It absolutely feels unnecessary in so many ways. Even for an iPhone today, it seems unnecessary when you just compare it to other things on the market, right? Almost like they're not playing to the marketplace, the competitive nature of capitalism and all that shit, but not to dive down that, like, not to dive into economy. But you sent me Apple Vision fishing.
Yeah.
This reel of Apple Vision. First of all, I have to say one thing. that fucking dude, ew.
Yeah, you don't like him?
I did not enjoy him because he was so like I'm trying to look for a word other than what I'm about to say, but I'm gonna have to say it this way. Is like he's so internet personality. Like he was raised by
Uh-huh.
the internet or he
Yes,
behaves that way because he knows the internet's gonna like it. So whether
you've
or not
nailed
that's
it.
who that person is in real life, I don't
No, it is.
trust him at all.
Yeah. No, that's 100% what they are, and that's how they blew up. Like, that is John B.,
Oh.
and he's one of the Guggen Squad guys. Yeah,
Oh.
and I've never
Okay.
liked that either. To me, it's completely phony of just like, "Oh, it's right there. Oh my god, I can't believe it. You can't believe you got a fish to bite? You can
Sorry.
believe it."
My bourbon's straight. Oh, I was right.
Oh, killing yourself. I get
I
it.
fucked up. I fucked up. I took a swig of a straight bourbon like I was drinking bourbon on the rocks. That was melted down to shit. I fucked up. I'm sorry, Tim.
No, you're good,
Keep
dude.
going about the Guggen. I did
No
not
worries.
realize that.
Yeah, so that's who that guy is. He's John B. from the Guggen Squad, and what he was doing was wearing an Apple Pro, and he was going out to fish with the Apple Pro. And I don't know what he was using. It was some sort of a forward facing sonar, and it must have an app that connects. I don't have forward facing sonar, so I don't know, but there must be a way that you can use your phone or whatever to see the screen. And what he was doing with the Apple Vision was being able to like put that in the the
AR.
app the
It's AR.
yeah,
It was out
yes,
in the world. It
exactly.
was in the real world.
Yes.
His front facing sonar followed his face around basically because he
Right.
had Apple
So
goggles on. So
yep.
it existed in the real world, but like on an 80-inch screen 8 feet in front of him because he was wearing Apple
Right.
Vision.
And he had the pass through, so he's like legitimately fishing
Yeah.
and seeing what he's doing, but that screen is there. Excuse me. Now, I think this is awesome. Honestly, you look stupid as shit. No way you're getting around that. I don't
True.
know. Like, nobody else tried it with any of the other ones because for whatever reason, like you were talking about with the price and stuff, now it's become somewhat of like a status symbol where I'm going to put on the Apple and I can go out to a cafe and have it. Like, if you were wearing the MetaQuest, people would be like, "Oh, look at this nerd." And people still say that with the Apple,
Yep.
but it's like they won't give each other shit because they're just like, "I have an iPhone. He gets it. That's pretty cool. I like him."
Right. Yep.
But
Yep.
also, like, people that are walking around with their phone on get their shit jacked. How you think you're not going to get that $3,500 thing that's not strapped to your head tightly?
Right.
I'm I'm guaranteeing that you go to try to sit out in the wild, like at a
Mhm.
cafe with that somebody that's coming by is just gonna snatch that shit off and run because
Right.
that's way more valuable than your iPhone
Then
is.
your phone. Yeah.
But when you're out on the water, it makes sense to me that you don't have to worry about any of that shit.
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
only crazy part is that, like, it's not strapped on your head, like, super, super securely,
Mm.
and that would scare the hell out of me trying to land
That
a
yeah.
fish. I just be, like,
Especially with
looking up,
a right.
like, trying to look down, yeah.
How do you look down at your fish, right?
Yeah, yeah, it'd be a little
How
bit
do you properly land it with that thing on your head?
yeah. You can look down, but it'd
Okay.
still be scary as hell, like, because I don't have a lot of fear of it. I can feel it, like, sliding, and I feel like I'd be able to try to, like, grab it if it was a problem
Like it's not a
in real
rubber
life.
band strapped to your head that's all of a sudden just
Right.
gonna get
Yep,
and
yep.
slide off into the water.
Yeah, but over the water, I'd definitely be a lot more scared. I'm not nervous about dropping my phone much either,
Sure.
but over the water, I do grip that shit way tighter. Yeah. So, anyways, I think it's fucking cool because everybody's buying the new screen. You know, like when you're out there, if you're a
Yep.
pro, you're buying whatever, you want the new biggest screen. You want the highest resolution. You want to be able to see.
Yeah.
You
They're
want
getting
the
big too, by the way. Like
yeah,
I've noticed that even as
yeah,
Bass becomes more, as the Bass Elite series becomes more, and I'm watching that, they
yep,
become more technology advanced. And look,
yeah,
like you can just see the screen. It's fucking huge, dude.
yeah,
Like that
and
was
it
the size of the
helps,
TV I had in my room when I was a kid, and I was like, oh
right?
man, that's awesome. I got my own TV.
Yeah,
Now
and
it
it
just
helps
floats around
because
this
when
beach
you're
boat.
yeah, exactly, and it helps because when you're looking at a screen, like the bigger it gets, you know, the bigger your lure gets and the bigger the fish gets when you're looking at that forward-facing sonar and
Oh,
stuff.
sure. Just like, yeah, I never thought
Yeah,
about that. But like your lure is pretty small and the fish are pretty small
yeah,
in comparison to the whole entire
and the whole
sonar
picture that you're
scan.
getting. Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
when it's from a
Mhm.
distance, you're seeing that stuff. And now with that headset, it gives you the capability of having a home theater size screen impossibly floating in front of you. And I think
Which, by
that's
the way, way more impressive in real life wearing the headset than it is in the video feed. Cause he's
oh
like
yeah.
that massive screen and he's pointing at it, right? Which he's pointing into space. And he
Yeah.
goes, then that massive screen right out there. And I'm watching the reel and I'm going, yeah, it's pretty big. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
that big, but it's fucking
Yeah.
huge when you have it on, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, dude. It's like your whole living room. When I sit in it, it spans from as like way left to way right. It's huge. The screen, if you were to buy a TV like that, you would have no place to put it. It would be
It'd be
just
too, yeah.
ridiculous. There'd be no place to put it. I
Like,
mean, you'd
how would
have
you get it
to,
through the front door?
it would not come through the front door for sure. It would have to be like a screen with a projector, and you'd have to like set it up and sit facing the right way and all this other shit. And
Hmm.
it's just, there's stuff that is, it just makes, basically, it makes the impossible in real life possible because
Hmm.
now it's, it's a projection. It seems
It's
crazy.
digital. It's, yeah, it's
Yeah,
all
it's digital, but it's giving you this 3D world of where it's your world because it's using the cameras,
right.
but it puts that thing just floating right there.
Yeah,
And it's nuts when you see it
it's so
because you're
fucking
like,
cool.
it literally is just a giant floating screen in my world now.
Right.
And so you've got that, and I think it's just an incredible tool, and the ability to be able to look at not only that. Like when you're fishing, your sonar and your screens are down at your feet where your pedal is. So you're casting
Oh
out, you're kind of
yeah.
look at where you're casting,
Right.
and you got to look down there. You have this thing and it's impossibly floating like just out of your sight of line or the line of sight.
Hmm.
And now you just can look down and like look up. You're not moving your head, you're nothing. You're just like, there he is. And you can literally out of your peripheral see your rod and reel perfectly. See where you're
Oh,
at, see
dude,
what
I
you're
didn't think
doing.
about that.
I think it's absolutely incredible. Like when you really
That's
give it a thought.
so cool.
But then you go into the comments of this, and I do not understand these people at all. One guy's like, the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Fishing has definitely took a turn for the worst. You guys need to change your
Oh
attitudes.
my god.
I need to change my attitude. You need to change your attitude. Get with the times, dickface. Stop thinking that you're working smarter. You should take pride in working hard. Builds true character. We're having fun fishing, dickface. I work hard enough when I'm working.
When I'm working.
I'm out here having fun. I don't understand what these people are getting at. Like,
Oh
might as
my.
well stay home and play video games. I'm commenting back to half of these. Might as well stay home and play video games. I say back at home when you catch them, you can't eat them. Fucking idiot. It says this one
Fucking
guy says,
idiot.
wait till the elderly fishing guys see this. I'm like, I'm pretty sure they're all in the comment section. They're all out here just being like, back in my day. Somebody's like,
Back in my
this,
day.
this is what happens when you let tech companies take control of a sport like fishing. In parentheses, shouldn't be called a sport anymore. It's the same shit it always was. Now you have a different way of seeing your screen. You didn't. It's just
Yeah.
another way of looking at your sonar.
Yeah.
We don't actually fish and know what the true meaning of fishing is. It's not fucking Christmas. It's fishing. It's not like we're out there just being like, oh, this it's a magical time of year. The true meaning of fishing. Shut up, dude.
It's not
Everybody has
fucking
their own
Christmas.
meaning. Some people get shit faced and cast out a bobber and hope it goes down. Some people are out
Right.
there like competitively trying to catch fish
Yeah.
and learn more about it. And just all this other stuff.
And some people
It's
just like to be on the boat, and when they pause,
yeah, and
throw out a
it's I
line.
do, he says you work for your fish, not video game your fish.
What
People need
the
to put a stop to this
fuck is
shit
that
or we'll
supposed to mean?
run. He says, or we'll run this pretty quick. Rune, I'm guessing is what he meant to say.
Oh, right.
What the hell happened to the fishermen? We're the same as we always have been. I'm willing to bet. I hope that you see this and know who I'm talking about. I'm willing to bet you can't catch dick. And you're out there trying to say that everybody else sucks and the reason that they catch fish is because they all have this new shit.
Ah,
And
yes.
it's
Yes.
just like, what happened to all the fishermen? Why does it bother you?
Right.
I don't understand any of this stuff where they keep talking about, I'm out, this is getting control. People need to use commas too. I'm out, this is getting out of control. Fine, stop fishing. It doesn't matter. You know what else you can do? You and everybody else that's out there talking about this can do? Don't use it. It's
Oh,
real
here's an
fucking
option.
simple. Here's an option. Just don't buy the new thing. I just got side imaging last year, and
Mhm.
that was out forever.
Right.
We're literally talking about people using a VR headset to watch their forward facing sonar
Right.
and fishing out there. And
Yeah.
I just got side imaging, and I'm having a fucking blast, dude. You know what else has been a pretty big advancement in the fishing world? Nice boats. Sonar
Right.
of any kind.
Right.
I can go out there with a rod and a reel with no sonar, no boat, and still have a good time on the banks of a
Right.
river.
Right.
Just don't use the shit. I don't understand why you got to be like, this is ruining everything. It's not. I don't get it. What is ruining shit for you?
Right.
Are you just mad at people using technology?
Yeah,
It's
right.
like
That's what
youngish
it feels
dudes
like.
that are just out here being like, oh, you can't do that. No, you can. Fuck
No,
off.
you can.
And also,
It,
first off, the VR headset doesn't help you catch fish. It is literally just
right.
another way of looking at your sonar. It didn't do
Yes.
shit except for giving you a different way of looking at what most people already have.
At their
Second,
feet,
that
by the way.
sonar,
Again,
yeah,
I just want to say that again. At their feet.
exactly. At their feet. Now it is up here and it's huge and it's beautiful and it's awesome. And the people that are just like, might as well play a video game. Do you have any idea what it costs to buy a video game that has legitimately like fishing capabilities where the fish fights and
Right.
pulls?
Because
It is
we do. We've talked
crazy
about it.
expensive. Yeah. And you're still only limited to catching those couple of fish.
Yes.
And then you're in your living room with no actual reward. You can't brag to your friends. You can't take a picture of the fish that you know,
Yeah.
you didn't actually accomplish anything. That's why it's still a big deal when you catch a big fucking fish to take a picture to show everybody because
Right.
it's not that goddamn easy. The pros go out there with all of this technology and there still is a sport because it still is a sport and there
Mhm.
still is competition
Mhm.
because just having all this technology does not make it so you're automatically going to go catch the biggest, best fish every single time.
Right.
It is advancing the sport. People are doing better than they used to in the past, but that's
Yep.
just how the fucking world works. You
Right.
goddamn technologically illiterate idiots. If I see you in the real world, I'm just going to turn away and I'm going to put my VR headset on and I'm going to be like, you live in your world. I'm going to visit this one. I just don't understand these fucking people, dude. It makes me so
I
mad when I pulled up this comment section expecting people to be like, this is the shit and all I saw was hate, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And then I had to be like, "This is cool. I really like it." And I put on my spiel, but I was like,
Yeah.
"You all can't shit on this and not have anybody like it. I got to come." And nobody commented. Nobody said shit back to me. Nobody's gonna, because they're
No,
all
because yeah, first of all, 90% of the comment section, you would know better than me because I've been trained to avoid it for
yeah,
because I got on the internet. The reason why I go on the internet is for video games, and everybody fucking is haters on video games, which is very, very weird because
yeah,
gamers brought up the internet, like Twitch is mostly video. Anyways, I'm sorry, I'm getting on a rant. Pull back here, coming back to the real world, to the conversation at hand. And what I'm saying is, I have been in different ways basically trained to like don't really read the comment section. It's usually all hate and shitty people.
yeah.
This is just proof of that. First of all, but
Right.
it is so weird to me. This is where I'm going with this whole thing. How people who are on a technology driven platform,
Yeah.
how did you get this? How
Right.
did you get here? How can you be hating on something that
I
was
know.
built on what you're sitting on? Like 5 years ago, you were the person sitting around looking at Polaroids in a shoebox going, huh, fucking weirdo over there on his phone looking at photos. And
Right.
now here you are in the comments doing that
Yeah.
same shit.
Exactly.
That's the way I see it.
What's the point of taking a picture just so you can look at your phone and see it again? You should be using an old ass camera and shaking that shit out so you can pin it to your fucking wall.
Right. It's fucking weird.
I
But I'm
don't.
with you, dude. I think it is. I think it's fucking cool. I
I think
wouldn't.
it's cool as fuck. There's no way of getting around how you look silly,
Yes.
but it's fucking cool.
Yeah. No.
And
And
eventually, I think it'll become the norm. People won't think it's that weird looking anymore. And I also
oh yeah.
think, just like everything else, where the processors and everything gets smaller and smaller,
hmm
not that far down the road, we're going to have shit that looks pretty close to regular goggles. And
Well,
it
have you
won't
seen?
stand out as much.
You remember Google Glass at all?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
We'll get
Yeah,
back
where
there.
it's just, you think so?
We'll get back there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be
Where
cool.
it's basically just like you'll be able to have your polarized fishing sunglasses on, and then
Yeah,
you'll.
because right now, yeah, I didn't think about that. That's a good point. Where you'll be able to see the forward facing sonar, but you won't be able to see in the water that well. But that doesn't really help you much because you don't need a forward facing sonar when you're sight fishing, anyways. So I don't, if you
So
have
yeah.
the ability to see your forward facing sonar up here, you're
hmm
probably in deep enough water that the polarization
Wouldn't
doesn't
affect.
matter too much.
Yeah.
So I
But
guess
just
there'd
to
be
make
like
a
a
point
rare,
to
yeah, no, it's a great,
combine like two
yeah,
tools or however you want to put it. That's all I'm really trying to make a point there with is like, yeah, we're gonna get to the point where it's because Ray-Ban actually has some shit right now that's like got some stuff. And I'm not fully up to speed on it, but like they sell a pair of smart sunglasses in a way.
yeah,
Um, so we're definitely gonna get there. I don't doubt that. You know, it may be even 5 years that we're there.
yeah,
But
yeah,
the for me, sure, when it gets down to like a pair of sunglasses, I'm cool with
yeah,
that. For me as a technology person who like lives who is professionally employed in that world, and
yeah,
then also his first major hobby is technology based.
sure,
Fishing is a reason to not have technology. And I don't mean that in the sonar way. I don't mean that in the like big screens on the boats and stuff like that.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
I mean it like I just like to get out there and have the wind on my face and, you know, smell the water and everything like that. And I know this isn't taking away your sense
yeah,
of smell, but I am not against this in any way,
Yeah.
but I would rather go out, say, fishing with you and some big screens,
Yeah.
and we're just hanging out chatting without the headsets on, just to have that extra element of like interaction.
Right.
Because there is still a screen, like you already said, with the MetaQuest, where there's like this fisheye kind of effect. There's still this like looking through a camera effect in a way that you can't get away from yet.
Yeah. Right. No, I totally get that. Like if you're out with friends and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
then it does get a little bit weird, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
I totally get that aspect of it. And I'm not saying like you should be doing that all the time.
For
But if
sure.
you're like legitimately
I
just
got you.
out in the water and you're like, I'm just trying to catch these fish and I'm just trying to learn,
Right.
I think it's just a super cool tool.
Yep,
I have a VR
agree.
headset. I have no plans on trying to figure out how he did that or what app he used or anything. I'm not trying to do that shit.
Right.
I just
But
think
if
it's
it
cool
just
as
got
shit.
fed into your like feed and it was like, hey, here's how you can connect your side imaging to your MetaQuest, you're gonna
Yeah.
fucking do it, dude.
Right.
I would too. Even after what I just said, I would at least experiment with it. But
Yeah.
again, that's coming from somebody who gets out less than you do and
Sure.
is more out there for like, I don't know, whatever happens, happens. I'm just out
Right.
here because it's quiet.
It's yeah, it's quiet, it's peaceful. You're out there with nature.
Yep.
You're seeing the eagles.
Right.
You're doing not so much on the water, but just being out in nature. You're out there, as the kids say, touching grass. You
Oh
know?
yeah.
Yeah. You're just touching grass, bro. We're nerds that touch grass. I touch grass, bro.
I love touching grass.
I love touching grass. And I'll take my VR headset to do it. You know, if I want to, because fuck it. Let people do what they want to do
Because
and don't be stupid about it.
I think it's
I
fucking cool.
literally said, I said that in one of the comments. I was like, I think this is awesome. I kind of thought it was funny to point out, I think this is awesome. It's going to be the same as the VR was before. You're fishing and doing everything the same as you were before. The only difference is weird tan lines.
Fishermen are gonna get goggle tans now, dude. Just
Hell yeah,
like
you're just gonna have it's gonna
snowboarders.
be like
I'm used
it's
to
gonna
it.
be like a real it'll look like you have a beard without it,
Yep.
you
Yeah.
know?
I'm that's
Because
yeah.
it'll
As a
cover up to your
snowboarder,
hairline because it's
yep.
so much bigger than like the regular goggles.
No,
Then
even
you know
like fisheye goggles are a thing though for snowboarding
okay.
because they do narrow your view. So they started making like wide angle lenses for snowboarding, and
Oh
remember
damn.
you're wearing a hat too. Like when you're snowboarding, you always
Right,
got
right,
something on
right,
your
right.
head. Totally the beard,
Yeah.
like the
So
goggle
yeah.
tan is like a beard.
You're
Yeah, man.
nice. Hell yeah. That's cool.
So let's
All
talk
right.
about the other thing. Talk about the other
I'm
reel
glad
you
I got that
sent
off my
because this
chest.
blew my mind. First of all, this kid's just going like 14 pounds, 15 pounds, bass. They're large. I'm like, what the fuck, man? I forgot that bass get that big. It
Yeah,
blows me
dude.
away every time.
Yeah. We don't get them that big up here, but they do get big and it's
No.
crazy to see.
And this is sort of like, okay, before we get into it, correct me if I'm wrong,
Excuse me.
but like this is how like Lake Fork is built, right? Like this is how Lake Fork gets a reputation about what
I think, yeah,
you
Lake
think?
Fork and some of the other ones, like there's I mean, like Lake Fork and some of the reservoirs are 100% stocked. Like they're not natural
Right.
lakes, so they're the only way fish get in there is by them putting in fish, and it definitely seems like they're trying to breed a master race.
Can you say that on the internet anymore? I don't know.
I think when you're talking about fish, nobody's gonna get offended. I
God,
mean,
I
even
hope
if you
not.
do get offended, also revert back to when I said about fish.
Right.
Because
Because, oh
I don't
yeah,
know, does anybody get
fish.
offended when you're talking about like steaks and stuff?
Dude, everybody gets offended about everything just based on
I
our last
know.
fucking topic we were talking about.
That's very true. Everybody does get offended about
So fuck it.
everything.
We're gonna keep
But
going. I was
is
kind of
not
making a
like
joke.
is not like I know, but I'm saying like is not like
Mm.
Wagyu and Angus and stuff kind of like their own like race of a cow? And
Right.
everybody knows that the A5 Wagyu is like the best out there.
Right. Just saying.
Just saying.
Best cow.
Yeah, the best cow.
You connect the
We're
line, you sicko. No.
yeah, we're out here trying to make these best cows in the water cows.
Water cows. For real though, dude. Water cow. That is a great way to put it. These things are fucking huge. And I think we talked about this once quickly during
Oh, really?
a news article. Like I brought up a
It
news
could be.
article or something, and I think we kind of talked about how Texas is trying to make like big bass. Like there's some sort of selective breeding. So this was like 30 seconds of more in depth of that though. So can you explain it for me and everybody who's like, what is it called again? I already forgot.
Sharelunker.
Share lunker.
Yeah. So, um, apparently there's like different classes here, and I don't know everything about it. I didn't do a lot of digging into it,
Okay, yeah.
but there's like they have the Sharelunker like by class 8 plus lunker, 10 plus elite, 13 plus legend, and then I don't know. There's a 13 plus legacy, but that's like the same shit. I don't know what that
Hmm.
means necessarily,
Hmm.
but basically
Okay.
what these people are doing is this one says double lunker day. This is the fourth legacy class share lunker in 4 days.
Dang.
Um,
Dang.
and then whatever. I guess I could give this guy a shout out because I'm just reading his thing. It says Angler Scott Hines landed share lunker 667 this afternoon on at Ohio. His catch hit the scales at 13.22 pounds. So congratulations, Scott. That's a hell of a
No,
fish.
no,
I think it's
dude.
huge.
In Ohio?
Um, yeah, I
What the
guess it's
fuck?
OH. Is that Ohio?
OH is Ohio.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess they got big.
We might
Well,
have to.
maybe no, maybe not,
Oh,
because it does say
in Texas.
supporting the a future full of bigger bass in Texas, bigger better bass in Texas,
Yeah. So
which I
OH.
thought was so maybe it does say OH and then
Mhm.
IVIE. It's OH period IVIE period. So
Yes.
maybe that's like the different lake or like
I
some
think there's
lake
a
down
really
there.
fucking weird lake name in Texas that.
Okay.
Okay. So, anyways, keep
So
going. Keep going.
yeah. So anyways, what they do is that when you catch these big bass that are able to get this big and stuff, and you call them up, they'll set it up to get that bass from you. Like you keep it alive. I don't know.
Hmm.
Again, didn't look into how they, you know, if they got somebody on call or if you got to try to keep it alive for a while or whatever. But they'll come like with a truck that has like a nice live well tank in the back,
Hmm.
and they'll take that fish and they'll bring it to their lab and they will get it to spawn out in their lab
Oh,
so they
that's
can
how
make
they do
sure.
it.
Yeah, so they're making sure, and once they get it spawned out, they give you a call back. The video that I sent you
Yep.
was this kid releasing his fish after lunker, what the frick was it called again? Share lunker, after share lunker did their thing. So share lunker,
Whoa.
it's
So, like,
literally like you're sharing a lunker. So
it's like 2 days
yeah,
later or something. This kid gets to go release his bass.
and it might have been even longer. I can't remember, but
Right.
yeah, he
Right. I,
catches this
yeah.
fish. He gets in touch
What?
with share lunker. They give him a shout out on their website or whatever. He goes, they take the bass, they get it to spawn out, and then once they get it to spawn out and they have the babies, they're like raising it in like a farm setting before they go into, like actually
To
stock
get it ready to go for
these fish.
stocking. Oh my
Yeah, but
God.
they'll go and release that fish back into its natural area, and they're saying that they take the kid out on a boat and they let him release it where he caught it. So
That's
they're not
so
only putting it back,
sick.
they're putting it back where it knows where it is. It's giving it the best chance of putting it back to where it was and
Because it should
where it'll
recognize
have
its
success.
surroundings and kind of get back in.
You would
And
hope so. Yeah, I don't know
that's
what
the
kind of
hope. Yeah,
memory
yeah,
they
yeah.
have, but that's the thing. They're taking it,
That
basically
is
breeding it,
awesome.
and then putting it back where they found it.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the
Dude.
efforts of making bigger, better fish. And I just was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
that's the
yeah.
shit.
Dude, Texas is totally since we've started Real AF TV, the more that I learn about largemouth bass and this and the sport and like the tourist attraction that bass fishing is, the
Yeah.
more that I learn about Texas and how big of a deal it is,
Yeah.
I really want to kind of dive into like, and I should write this one down, is like, when did Texas become like a bass fishing destination?
Yeah. And I mean, they got a couple of them because I did just Google too. O.H. Lake is a reservoir in Texas.
See,
That's
I
where a
knew it.
lot of
We've
these,
talked about
yeah,
it before.
that's
I
where a lot of these fish are coming out of.
Yes, I knew it because I feel like we've talked about that and fork as like two.
Mm,
Yep. Keep going.
yep.
Sorry, I'm just kind
Yeah.
of getting on
No,
this.
no,
Like I
you're right.
fucking knew it,
No,
dude.
I ain't really have much else to say. I just Googled that that's what it was. But like,
Yeah,
I mean, you scroll down this dude, most of these fish are
yeah,
coming out of there. And this guy's got 13.2, next guy
yep,
13.6. These are all from the same lake.
yep.
This next kid, 15.82,
Fucking a, dude.
coming
That's
out that
such a
same lake.
huge bass.
14.18, 13.83. Um, this one
Oh
just
my
says public reservoir in Texas. Doesn't say where, but 13.4. Like these are all
I think
giant
the state
fish.
record came out of that OHIV.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's
Cause
another one,
we've definitely talked about it in the
13.33.
news, but not, I don't think we like, it's probably come up in topics before, but like,
Yeah.
dude.
Dude, this one says 13.33 from Fort Phantom Hill Reservoir. So there's a third that we got on there that's
Oh
producing,
my God.
yeah, 10 plus bass. And there's at least 3 that we've just heard of.
Right.
So, yeah, but another 13.13 in
Oh
that
my,
OHIV. So it's
that's
like
crazy.
you got so many of these big fish and they're just trying to make it bigger and better.
It's crazy. I
So
mean,
crazy.
dude, I know people in Texas. It's like, it's getting to the point where I'm like, man, Tim, you get a you get a boat, we might be driving down I-35s. Fucking A, dude.
I would say this. If I get a boat, there's no might. We're doing that shit.
That is crazy. I can say the
I'm
biggest
bringing all
bass
my
I probably
musky
ever
lures.
caught is three and a half, four, maybe.
Okay.
The
Yeah,
biggest bass I ever caught was also like near shore.
that's the funny thing about Minnesota and being like a musky fisherman also. I'm
Mhm.
literally just gonna bring down like all my glide baits and we just won't have to use a leader. It'll be the same shit.
That's so awesome. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, dude.
I just can't
Super
imagine
cool.
pulling in one of these hogs. I love that. Like, I don't care. I'll bring what we'll call my tourist money to
Yeah.
Texas to catch some big bass. Good for them.
Jimmy Houston got like an 8-pounder in that picture. It's gotta be.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah. That's a
Throwback
good
to the
one.
first topic. I love
Yeah.
it. I love it.
Damn, dude, I didn't notice it either. Hank's gotta have close to the same shit. That's
Oh
at
my
least that's
dude.
gotta be around like 8, 10.
Yeah, that thing was huge.
Those are good fish, man. They're bigger than what we're catching around here,
Oh, no
if not
doubt.
right at the state record, you know?
Yeah.
It's just what you get down there in the hydrilla.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I don't. Oh, one night.
Yep.
Are we done
No,
almost?
no,
Can
no.
I
Yeah,
tell?
yeah, yeah. No, well, we're gonna go into the other thing.
Yeah.
You ready? Is that what you were gonna do?
Yep.
You okay? I wanted to preface this one a little bit because we've been kicking this
Okay.
around for too long. We need some comments, some feedback. Let us know. We're about to kick off a deals section.
Deals. I love deals.
We've been kicking this around for a hot minute now, at least a quarter of a year, and
Yep.
we've done nothing with it. We're going to call this the experimental part of
Yeah.
our podcast, where we just do something, and if you're feeling it, leave a comment, please. Email
Yep.
us reallife.tv/contact. Some way.
I,
If you're feeling this section, let us know, because Tim's been talking about it for a hot second. And if you're into it,
I talk about
we
things.
believe we can continue it on a somewhat regular basis. But right now,
Yep.
we ain't got a spot for it. So here's our experimental section. Hit them quick,
Yeah.
Tim, with the deals.
With the deals.
There we
Yeah.
go. Now we got a soundbite for it too. We'll come up with something. For reals though, I would come up with something. I would make it a section of the podcast. Like we would make up a sound bite and everything, and we'd work it into the regular podcast. If you guys want it, let us know. But anyways, I'm actually gonna like timestamp this out at this. I'm gonna timestamp this out because I think that the deal section,
Yeah.
because we're experimenting with it,
Yeah.
I'm gonna timestamp it out over on YouTube.
All right.
Yeah, Tim, cool. Let's do deals. So, if I can I take over for a second before we start?
Yep.
It's that time of year again. We've been talking about it the whole podcast. If you're in for the long haul, thank you. There is
Thanks.
open water season right around the corner, so people be doing deals.
Hell
Locally in Minnesota, Fleet Farm, Mills, used to be Mills Fleet Farm. I think they took off the Mills now, right? They sold it.
I think they sold it. Yeah.
Yeah. Fleet Farm, definitely been doing some stuff. I got some good Crush City deals. Some good. What were those that you gave me? 13 cranks. You gave me.
Oh
the heads
yes,
up on?
the 13 cranks. God dang, dude.
God damn, dude, they got me. I got 3 of the same thing, just different colors, because that's all that was left. But they were all like 7-foot swimmers. Like,
yeah, dude.
It was literally like 3 for the price of 1. I was like, fuck it.
It was $3.33 for every crankbait, jerkbait, and frog that they had on there. I was trying to get those frogs. I went into the store. I talked to them. I was trying to get somebody like, how do I get these fucking frogs, dude? And I couldn't get any of them. I did get one of the jerkbaits, but the jerkbaits and the frogs sold for $12.99 regularly, and they were selling them for $3.33 a piece. If you bought 12 frogs, they would have been $156 for those 12. Yep. But during this deal, that would have costed you $40.
I was my
just
wife
like, let me get any of those freaking frogs.
I told my wife that before I went shopping.
Yeah.
And she just goes, whoa. Like, that was her. Like, she just said, whoa. Someone who has no care. She'll come fishing if we're all fishing, out on the boat. Yeah. She got her license. She'll cast in. She has no shits about fishing, though. And she was just like, whoa. Because I told her exactly that, because that's what you told me. And I'm like, by the way, 12 frogs, not uncommon. Colors, not on, like 12 different colors of frogs. Totally a thing somebody might do.
I was trying to get my hands on every single thing that they had. The same thing with jerkbaits and stuff, because when you fish in different water clarities, the colors
or
get
even different
different
locations, right? Like, I mean,
I bought some of those crankbaits because crankbaits are great search baits. So I bought them in a couple of different colors that I don't even use, because I know that eventually there's going to be a day come that I'm like, I want to fish this kind of water.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fishing this lake, it has this kind of water. Mm-hmm. I'm going to use this search bait that's a little bit brighter and try to get stuff done. I have to say, I don't know if you saw me like shaking my head.
I did.
I ran out of Dr. Pepper, so there's barely any left.
Yeah.
And did we hit this on the first one? I think so. I'm drinking Dr. Pepper cream soda with Jack Daniel's honey whiskey.
Yep. For the people on Friday that are listening to this split.
I had a higher whiskey to, like, more whiskey in this one than Dr. Pepper.
Oh my
and it's
god.
still fucking good.
Oh my god, dude.
I'm mind blown right now. This is nuts. You don't
That's
even have to
fucking
mix it
crazy.
strong. I finished the bottle and now I'm like, well, goddamn, it could have just done a splash. It could have just been that whiskey with a splash of this.
With this magical
Anyways,
just
it's
camouflage.
it's insane. You have so many flavors in this. I think it's like a Long Island iced tea almost, like where
Oh
you
yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah.
when you just
That
throw the fucking
much.
kitchen sink at it for
Right.
whatever reason. All the flavors like make it work somehow. You just go, I don't even know what the fuck I'm tasting anymore, but it's pretty good. So
Okay. Deal section.
deals.
Let's hit it.
I got the
Kind of
Cabela's
quick.
right here. Okay, yeah, kind of quick. So what we're dealing with here, you don't have much time. When you hear this, if you hear this and you are interested in getting stuff, go now. Because you can get literally any fishing reel or rod that you want right now. You can get a sale on as long as you have an old rod or an old reel to trade in. It does not have to be both. It can be one or the other, and it doesn't matter what they are. I'm sure if you're an avid fisherman, you have some old shit laying around.
Mm-hmm.
I have a
Right.
bunch of random stuff in the garage that I don't use anymore. I could get this discount on so many different things. But they have the discounts because it doesn't say it in here, but it's like a donation thing. They use it
Mm,
for like
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And
They
I don't
donate
want
them.
to, yeah, I don't want to misquote what it is, but it's like a donation for like
Well, it's like a nonprofit is basically
yeah,
what they're doing,
it's like an
right? Like,
unrelated, yeah, but it's like an unrelated thing to fishing too. It's like you donate those, and then that raises money for whatever charity they're dealing with.
oh,
And I
it's
forgot
not
what
a fishing
charity it
thing.
was.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Oh,
it's like
cool.
it's fishing adjacent because you're donating reels to make it happen.
Right.
But so it goes in tiers based off of what you're purchasing.
Hold on.
But you trade
Where are we talking about?
Cabela's or Bass Pro Shops. They
Okay.
are owned by the same company. They
They are
are
now.
all Bass Pro Shops now.
Right.
So any Cabela's Bass Pro Shops, I think you have to physically go in there because you have to trade in your reel. So you have to find one. And then, yeah, whatever. But I think you might get a coupon. So if they don't have the shit in store, I think you might be able to buy it online still. If whatever. So, anyways, keep that in mind. This might not work in all circumstances because I don't know what all the rules are. I'm sure there's some sort of a
Mm,
stipulation.
right.
But if you give them one of your old reels, $40 to $80 or $79.99 is going to get $10 off. And then it goes in increments up to there, all the way up to $500 and up. If it's $500 and up that you're buying,
Mm-hmm.
like a Daiwa Steez reel that
Oh my
sells for
god.
$649.99.
Jesus
And a lot of these
Christ.
don't go on sale because they are like the top of the top.
Yeah.
That Daiwa Steez reel is getting $100 off
Holy
with
fuck.
this trade in. Now, here's the other part of the deal that I know, and this is something that you can use year round if you already have like a Sam's Club membership. I don't know if they have it at Costco, but you can get the Sam's Club. I know has $75 worth of Cabela's gift cards for $71.98.
Oh,
And
nice.
they don't tax that shit. So you're getting you're
Because
getting
gift
a
card.
discount on anything that you want. And I already did the math for everybody out here just for a hypothetical. The Daiwa Steez that's $649.99, you could use 7 sets of those and you're getting $3 off every $75, like no sale. So that's an extra $21.14 off. So now you're talking $121.14 off for your $650 rod or reel. If you've ever been thinking about getting a $650 reel, you can get one now for $528.85. Just saying.
Just saying.
That's what I'm talking about. Like if you are frugal like I am and you want nice things, but you don't want to pay full price, because I don't like paying full price ever. It
Yeah.
bothers me.
Yeah.
Here's a way that you can do it. And it's like all that different stuff. The different increments are like $120 to $175 is $30 off. So you're still getting some money off, and they got some of the sales going on a couple of different reels and stuff where you're able to get the sale price plus extra off. Like
By the way, I just want to say quick, you
yeah.
got to come watch the YouTube video. This is so dynamic with your paper fucking ad that you have and the way that, but you're so good at working the mic. You just like your voice is still on point. Fucking, this needs to be on the Ocho, dude.
The Ocho, yeah. I'm just that guy that talks about the fucking big money or whatever, the stocks.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like
yeah.
that,
That guy.
except for the deals and shit.
Right.
I got to get the fucking horns and stuff. The fucking, I got my, hey, there's a fucking deals right here. But like the Johnny Moore's signature series baitcaster reel is normally $200 and it's on sale for $179.98.
Oh my
And then
God.
after the trade-in, you're talking it's down to $139.98
Yeah.
for a $200 reel,
Right.
you know?
Right.
So it's that kind of shit. Also,
Nice.
KVD crankbaits, great crankbaits. They have their signature series at Bass Pro Shops and the regular ones that you can buy anywhere. It doesn't matter what color, what size you're talking about. It is the KVD crankbaits. You gotta make sure that they're like the square bill ones because there's other Strike King shit. It's not just the Strike King, it is the KVD.
Oh,
Those are half off, dude. Just like we were talking about those other crankbaits for
yeah.
$3, the
Right.
13 fishing crankbaits sell for more, but
Yep.
they're half off. So you're looking at another like $3 and whatever cent crankbaits. And I have so many fucking crankbaits now because of these deals. Because I went and bought 3 of the KVD ones, and I think I got 6 of the 13 fishing ones.
God
So I got
damn.
9 new crankbaits in different colors and stuff. And they're all going to have their time
In the
and
last 2
place,
weeks.
but yeah, exactly. But also, yeah, more deals and stuff to come. But just always be out there looking at the different stuff. I get this shit in the mail with the Cabela's and Bass Pro Shops and stuff. But Fleet Farm, if you want to see what Fleet Farm's got going on, just go to their website and click on the weekly ad.
The
The weekly ad
I
will
know.
show you different stuff. I just got my nephew a Daiwa Regal reel that sells for $64.99 regularly for $40.
Nice.
I don't know if he'll watch this. That was kind of a surprise for him. Whatever. If he sticks around this long,
Good for him.
he's gonna get it the next week anyways. But yeah. And I got, oh dude, also this isn't really even a deal, but I gotta say this because I thought it was cool as shit. I
Okay.
bought him a Cast King rod, and
Okay.
it's a 2-piece, right?
Oh, nice. Okay.
So
So you can fit in
this-
some, like it comes apart for smaller movement, right?
Yeah,
That's the
exactly.
2-piece you're
Yep.
talking about. Yeah.
Yep. I technically like, or not technically, but I prefer to have a 1-piece rod.
Yeah.
Because I've had some issues with the 2-piece rods in
Yeah.
the past, but I
Sure.
had cheap, shitty 2-piece rods. I've never had a nice 2-piece rod.
Okay.
This is a nicer one. Cast King is a decent one. We've talked about the Piscifun or Piscifun is what
Yep.
I think I've called it before, but
Yep.
I think I've heard other people pronounce it Piscifun. Those
Well,
two get you a little bit
Rapala,
better.
Rapala, you know.
Right, exactly.
Tomato.
Those, yeah, those two companies are like an e-commerce. Like you're only finding them on websites.
Oh
or,
yeah, that's right. You
online,
said that.
and then
Yeah.
yeah, both of those you can get through Amazon. So if you got Prime, you can get free shipping on a lot of that shit and stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
But those ones have quality stuff at a little bit cheaper price than what you're seeing with some of the other manufacturers and stuff. But the rod that I got for him was a Cast King, and I think they had a little bit of a sale on the rod I bought, but the real deal that came in with that one is I've never seen this before. Maybe they've had it before and I've just never seen it in any other company, but it was basically 2 rods in one because it's that 2-piece.
Mm-hmm.
It's a medium butt rod. So like, you know, it comes apart in the middle from the middle to the reel seat, like the handle, that's 1 piece. But it comes with 2 different rod tips. One's a medium and one's a medium heavy.
No way.
It's literally like 2 rods
Like
in
it's
one.
a 2-piece, like a literal 2-piece with a chain.
Yeah.
Dude.
So you get 3 pieces when you order it because it's literally like take off this, stick this one on. It's a medium. Gonna fish a little bit heavier. Pull this shit off. Put this one on medium heavy.
No way.
And the reason I got him that was because we went to Cabela's together and we were picking out some stuff, and he grabbed a couple of like top water baits that were a little bit bigger. And I'm just like, hell yeah, dude, get them. And then I was kind of thinking about what he had for setup,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, dude, he can't really be tossing that shit with what he's got. And I
Mm-hmm.
was looking around and I found that, and I'm like, that medium heavy will huck those things. And I was like, but then he needs a bigger reel for that. And then I found that Daiwa on a deal, and I got him like the 3000 series. So he's got a bigger reel with a bigger rod ready to cast that shit. So
Dude,
he's set up, and I'm
that's
always
fucking
out there.
awesome.
If anybody, I'll throw this out there too. I don't know what it takes to become a buyer for a fishing company.
Uh-huh.
I like shopping for fishing stuff almost as much as I like fishing. So
I was
if
just gonna say we actually made I made a fucking because I did I remember this because I did a little thing and I was like, hey, if anybody out there is hiring, you got to listen to this because this guy Tim, he's like, I remember doing that and saying like, you need to hire Tim.
yeah,
So what were you gonna
right.
say? It's like,
Well, that's basically it. But also, I worked in sales at the same time, and
yeah, yeah,
I can also, I'm always looking for deals out there.
mm-hmm,
I can totally help justify why we're spending that much money in the first place, though. Like how Cast
mm-hmm,
King,
mm-hmm,
I don't even know if I really got a deal on that. I don't think it was on sale,
mm-hmm.
but because it was that 2 rods in 1,
Right,
shut it down, bro. We don't need a sale. I got my value, you know.
right,
That's
right,
what we gotta do is just produce that value, and I'm sure like the Daiwa Steez at $650, and the fucking Shimano Stella that's $699.99 for a spinning reel.
right.
Like I'm sure all that stuff has their selling points. I just don't know what they all are because I haven't really dug deep into these $700 reels because that's a bit out of my price range.
Right. Yeah. And the technology and the R&D and all this stuff is like captured inside the company. How do you get that out
Yeah,
to the public through,
right.
like for you as a buyer, you would be like, okay, send me the Daiwa rep.
Yeah,
Make that rep tell me what they're doing in the factory. And
right.
then bam, from there you go, okay, I'll take 1,000 of them. And
Yep.
here's why. And then you get to pass that down to all your sales reps on the floor. And yeah, yep.
Yeah. Also, like
Because you love research and you can
if
totally pass it
yeah,
on. Like you're that's why we have the Real AFTV podcast, because we're good at like plain, simple learning.
mhm.
Just don't make it too complicated. Make it easy to
Have
understand.
fun. That's what it's the whole reason we wanted to do this is to I felt like other fishing shows can be sometimes too serious,
Mm-hmm.
or like the John B can be way over the fucking top and make everything to
Yes.
be more than it is. And I
Right.
want somewhere in the middle.
Right.
I want real reactions where people are just having fun trying to do stuff out there.
Right.
And that's the other thing. Like, I feel like this is almost like a job interview now, but like if I had to work my way up and you're like, you got to go work one of the sportsman shows, and I'm the guy where you just give the mic and I'm just up there, I'm the guy
Oh,
that's
yeah.
like talking to everybody, telling them about how this new lure is going to be the new shit.
Right.
I'd be excited to tell everybody about it.
Yeah.
I know I'm not a pro, so there's shit that I'm not going to be able to do, like KVD taking the newest lure, tossing it into the tank of fish.
Yeah. The
But
demo
maybe
tank.
that would even help you out. I know how to fish. Have
Mm-hmm.
some guy nobody's heard of catch a
Right.
bunch of fish.
Right. Yeah.
KVD can do that shit all day. People be like, "Oh yeah, whatever." He
Yeah. Well,
tweaked
he's a
his
fucking
wrist a
pro.
couple.
So, I mean, what do you
Yeah,
expect? Like, if I give Kevin Garnett a basketball, he's going to fucking dunk it.
yeah, yeah.
Like, whatever.
Did you see how he pointed his pointer finger when he twitched that and then moved his pinky like that? It's a trick, I think. He moved. It's all in
Right.
the
Right.
wrist.
Right.
It's all. I've
It's on the
I've been
wrist.
I've
He's
been
probably
studying
wearing a
it for
fucking VR
years.
headset.
He's got the sonar. He's got the forward-facing sonar in there with the fucking cheat codes, bro. That's how he's catching them.
Up, down, down, left, right, left, right. Am I right?
Yeah, for 3 years now, they've been feeding those bass that's in that tank hot dogs that look just like that lure. No brainer, he's gonna catch him. You know, I suppose that wouldn't help my case anymore. That's probably the argument they would make while I'm up there.
Yeah,
You
right.
know,
But you're still making good points. All right, dude.
yeah,
Okay, let's wrap this shit up. Like, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Remember
yep,
that there is a comment section in Spotify now. There is a
mm-hmm.
comment section on YouTube, of course. We're watching those. realaf.tv/contact. You can just email us. There is actually a pop-up on, from what I understand, well, on Spotify. There's a question at the end. Interact with us at
Oh,
the end of the questions, or at the end of the podcast, whatever.
yeah,
On Spotify. Spotify is doing some pretty cool stuff like that. Google is ending their Google podcast service. They're moving all the way over to YouTube, and there's a good reason why, because people like us who are doing the video podcast and the audio podcast are now able to be accommodated by one location through YouTube, where you
yep,
can just turn off the video
right.
and then you
Yep.
just get the audio one. Boom, it's that simple.
Basically doing what Spotify is doing already.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Also,
So
we're not on video on Spotify because it takes a little bit of extra effort, which we're not going to get into right now. But we could if we wanted to. So if you are on Spotify and you are super into the idea of getting getting video on there, let us know. I know how to. We're just not doing it. Takes a lot of extra effort.
Right.
But if the
And
extra
if you
effort
hear
pays off,
that,
I'm in.
right. And if you hear that and you say, but I really would like to see the video, you do have the option of seeing this on video on YouTube, because it is there right now.
That's right. Thank you, Tim.
But if you really want to see it on Spotify because you prefer to click that green, whatever the fuck it is,
Wi-Fi icon. That's what I call it.
There you go.
But speaking of paying off and stuff like that, patreon.com/@realaftv. You probably heard it in the break. If you didn't, then you've seen this on the Friday. We are over there. If you want to toss a couple bucks our way.
Yeah.
It's not a permanent thing. You can jump on and off. You can like jump on for a month.
Yep.
Give us a couple bucks. Peace out. That's cool.
It does go towards production. We're not out here just being like, if you give us $3.33, I get another lure.
Right. No, all of that money is filtered back into production for sure. That's it, Tim. Right?
That's all I can think of.
Yeah. I want to see that Bill dance card again. Show the people. Show the people that Bill dance card again.
I'm going fishing.